Every few years, the world's two most powerful men meet, and markets hold their breath. This time, it's Donald Trump and Xi Jinping, face to face once again. Their meeting isn't just another diplomatic handshake. It's a signal, one that could reshape the future of global trade, technology, and geopolitics. For years, the United States and China have waged a silent economic war. Now, as Trump returns to power, that war might enter its most dangerous phase yet. In this video, we'll explore how this rivalry began, why it matters now more than ever, and how it could redefine the world economy in the decade ahead. Let's start from the beginning. A rivalry that's been decades in the making. When China opened its economy in the late 1970s, few imagined it would one day challenge the United States for global dominance. But by the 2000s, China had become the world's factory, producing everything from electronics to steel. Cheap labor, government subsidies, and foreign investment fueled its rise. And as China grew richer, America grew uneasy. By 2016, China's trade surplus with the US had exploded, and Donald Trump made it a central issue of his campaign. Trump accused China of unfair trade practices, currency manipulation, and intellectual property theft. He promised to bring jobs back to America, and he did something few presidents dared to do. He started a trade war. Tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars of Chinese goods soon followed. Beijing retaliated with its own tariffs. Suddenly, global markets trembled. But beyond the headlines, something deeper was happening. A struggle not just for trade, but for technological supremacy. Fast forward to today. Trump is back. Xi Jinping is still in power. And the tensions are once again rising. Both leaders face immense domestic pressures. For Trump, it's about reviving the American economy and proving America first works. For Xi, it's about maintaining stability as growth slows and youth unemployment climbs. This meeting, then, is not just about diplomacy. It's about survival, both political and economic. Trade between the US and China reached over $575 billion last year. Yet tariffs still cover nearly two-thirds of those goods. American companies depend on Chinese manufacturing. Chinese companies depend on American consumers. It's a codependent relationship, but one built on mistrust. Trump's return threatens to shake that fragile balance once again. This time, the focus isn't just on tariffs or steel. It's on the future industries, semiconductors, AI, and green technology. Washington is tightening export controls on advanced chips and AI tools. Beijing is responding by accelerating its Made in China 2025 plan, an effort to become self-sufficient in critical tech sectors. This isn't just an economic race. It's a race for dominance in the 21st century. Whoever controls advanced technology controls the future. Trump's approach is direct, transactional, and often unpredictable. Xi's strategy is long-term, a mix of patience, pressure, and propaganda. Trump seeks deals. Xi seeks structure. Trump plays the short game. Xi plays the long one. Yet both are driven by one thing: power and the image of strength at home. Their clash represents not just two leaders, but two visions of how the world should work. And let's not forget, this is not just about economics. It's about ideology. The US champions open markets and individual enterprise. China promotes state-driven capitalism and collective control. It's democracy versus centralized authority, and each side believes history is on its side. The trade war is merely a symptom of this larger clash. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is caught in the middle. European nations, Southeast Asia, and Africa are being forced to pick sides, or walk a dangerous tightrope between the two. Supply chains are being rewired, new alliances are forming, and everyone is watching this meeting between Trump and Xi for clues about where the next shock might come from. So what actually happened behind those closed doors? Official statements are vague, talk of mutual respect and constructive dialogue. But insiders suggest Trump demanded new trade terms, and Xi warned against containment. In short, both sides stood their ground. No deal, just tension disguised as diplomacy. That's what makes this so dangerous. Both leaders can spin the meeting as a win at home, but neither made concessions. The result? More uncertainty for global markets, more caution for investors, and more anxiety for nations stuck between the two giants. Now let's zoom out. The US and China are decoupling, slowly but surely. Technology, trade, and even finance are being divided into two worlds, one orbiting Washington, the other orbiting Beijing. This could redefine globalization as we know it. Multinational companies are already shifting factories out of China, but alternatives like India, Mexico, and Vietnam can't replace it overnight. And so, for now, the world remains in a fragile balance, dependent on both powers, trusting neither. The question isn't whether the US and China will compete. They already are. The real question is, can they avoid open conflict while doing so? Because history shows, economic rivalries often become geopolitical ones, and trade wars can lead to something far worse. For now, diplomacy is still working, barely, but mistrust runs deep. Both nations are rearming, investing in tech, and building alliances. It's not just competition, it's preparation. So when Trump and Xi shake hands, what we're really seeing is not peace, but pause. A momentary truce in a struggle that could define the century, because neither man wants to back down, and neither nation can afford to lose. The next chapter of US-China relations won't be decided by words, but by actions. Tariffs, tech bans, military drills, cyber warfare. This is the new battlefield, invisible, economic, relentless, and it's one the rest of the world cannot escape. As this rivalry unfolds, smaller nations will adapt or align, corporations will diversify or relocate, and global institutions like the WTO or IMF will struggle to stay relevant. We're entering a multipolar era where power is fragmented and rules are rewritten. In that sense, the Trump-Xi meeting is symbolic, a reminder that diplomacy can delay conflict, but not erase competition. Behind the smiles, both men are calculating their next move. Expect the trade war to evolve, less about tariffs, more about control over emerging technology. Expect more pressure on allies, more supply chain reshuffling, and more uncertainty in global markets. And expect one constant, that neither Trump nor Xi will blink first. Because in this rivalry, perception is power. And in geopolitics, perception often becomes reality. The next decade will test both nations, their economies, their politics, and their ideologies. But it will also test the rest of the world, to see how we navigate between them. History tells us that when great powers collide, the fallout reshapes the global order. This time, the battlefield isn't fought with armies, but with algorithms, supply chains, and trade routes. So as Trump and Xi stand before the cameras, remember, what happens next won't just shape two nations, it could shape the world itself. Because this is not just a trade war, it's a test of who defines the future. And that story has only just begun.